Hi, and thank you so much for joining me in this video series, Be Brilliant, 5 Ways to Propel Your Career and Your Life from Vanilla Success to Spectacular Triumph. I'm Alana Rosso, and this is video number 1, Decide to Ditch the Struggle. So struggle is something that is really interesting. A lot of us assume that our life has to be full of it all the time. And so I'm not going to talk really about the big struggles in life that we definitely have to go through. So such as going for a big degree, a 4-year program. There's some milestones that are just really, they're going to be hard, or some of those gym workouts, they're going to be a struggle. I'm talking about that feeling of spinning your wheels, where you're just not feeling like you're getting ahead and everything feels hard. Everything feels exhausting. And so that state of struggle was something that I was really familiar with. And the decision to ditch it is really one of the most transformational things that I've personally done in my life. So I'm going to share with you a story. So years ago, I went to a women's and entrepreneurial networking event. So it was about 12 women at this event. I didn't know much about it. I had a new friend kind of asked me if I wanted to go. And I thought, sure. I was in that mood where I was really open to going to something. And I show up and everyone's kind of telling the story, and there's all different people doing all different things. So purse designers, jewelry designers, baby clothes, all different things. And as the people are going around the table kind of telling the story one by one, I really started to see that, oh my gosh, every single person here is in a state of struggle. They are all exhausted. They have a full calendar. They're working all night, all day, all night. They are not making much money. And they just seem to be stressed all the time, but they're like, this is just the entrepreneurial way. And the time I believe I was working full-time as a designer, I was freelancing, I was also teaching graphic design, and I had an Etsy store. So I was doing a lot of things. And what was so interesting about this event and why it was so life-changing is that suddenly I saw all these women in the room as a mirror of my state of struggle. I was living that exact life too. And so like attracts like. And there's also this concept in personal development that people are put into your life as a mirror to reflect back to you what's going on with you. And I really felt this. And what was kind of wild about the experience is that I could see that this was what was happening. This information was being presented to me, that I was meant to see this as a new perspective. And I was like, nope, I do not want to be in this space. I am not a part of this. This is heavy. I don't like this. This is the way I've lived my life, and there has to be a different way of doing things. So it's not really a surprise that I was used to being in a state of struggle. So I came from parents that immigrated to Canada, my dad from Italy, my mom from England, and they came with really nothing. They had 2 kids and a small tiny house that they actually rented one room to make the mortgage payments, and there was 1 bathroom. So 4 people plus a tenant and 1 bathroom. So not easy. They legitimately had to struggle for a lot, and I really appreciate a lot of what they did, everything they did. But there were hard times, and my dad used to literally say all the time, everything is a struggle. So is it a wonder that I adopted that belief that everything is a struggle? So what happens then? I start creating a life of chaos where everything is a struggle. So I'm packing things in my calendar. I'm doing more. I'm working harder and harder, not smarter at all. And I'm creating that sense of struggle, that exhaustion. And of course, what happens? Well, for me, my body started breaking down. I used to get chronic migraines and be so ill to the point of sometimes I was hospitalized. Really, really bad. And I kept getting these, and my body didn't want to do it anymore. But I was kind of addicted to the struggle, and I do think you can be addicted to it. So here's the question for you. Are you creating struggle in your life where it doesn't really need to be? Are you packing your calendar? That was my main thing. So my main thing now is to have space in my calendar. And I'm going to talk more about space in a next video. So looking at the ways that you're deciding to struggle is creating that awareness around it, and you'll start to see patterns, and this is really important. What are you willing to let go of? Now, do you feel that being in that state of struggle makes you feel productive, makes you feel valued? And that's just the way it should be. I had to really challenge the way things had to be and decide that I wanted things to be different. I wanted to have more ease and grace in my life, and that I deserved to have that. So on that note, take a look at where you're struggling, where the patterns are, see What are you actually just willing to let go of a little bit so that you're not in that state of chaos and struggle, and you'll begin to see the transformational results. Again, it begins with that decision. You really have to decide that this is no longer for you, that this is going to change for you. And then from there, once you have that decision, you can start building awareness around it, and then you start taking steps to release yourself from the struggle, because it is so good to be out of that grip of the struggle bus. And I highly encourage you to consider what your life would be like if you let go of that. So in the next video, we are going to be talking about the fact that you, yes, do know more than you think you know.